to v8sonline's live coverage of the iRacing.com V8 Supercar official online series, proudly presented by broadcast sponsors, V8 Supercars Fan Group, V8 Online Superstore and Direct Clutch Services. Jay Kennedy in the host chair for round 11 from Interlagos in Brazil, making the big trip across to Brazil. Joining me tonight, Daniel Bryant and Des Hallam. G'day, boys.
G'day, Jay. Good to be on a V8 race. I haven't done one of these in ages, and I'm surprised I even got an invite. I thought I was still in the bad books.
You are, that's all right, mate. And hello, Des. First time I get to commentate with you tonight, mate. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to Interlagos. Good to be with both of you. Pretty much a big fan of this track. It's probably had the best race of my life ever. Watching Anton Senna win that race, his first time winning his home Grand Prix here, so I'm looking forward to seeing what our boys can do around it.
Yeah, one of the most fantastic tracks for the V8 Supercar. Absolutely love this track. We've just had the early race non-broadcasted, but the early race tonight, it's actually the longest race in this series history. So time-wise, it goes for just over an hour. Longest race in time-wise, and this car is not easy to drive. These guys will be absolutely exhausted.
It's good to see that there's a bit of length in a race going for over an hour. That's pretty brutal. So yeah, it'll be an interesting race, and good to see who can keep up their concentration for the full hour.
It's not an easy track as well. It's a very demanding track. You do have that long sweeping straight, but even still turning the car, so you don't have a lot of time to catch your breath. And a very action-packed race we'll see, no doubt, tonight. 40 laps with our favourite thing, pit strategy.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
It's going to be brilliant.
Run through the championship before we get to our hot lap preview. We've got Renz Brookman coming in for that very, very soon. Madison Down leading the championship after last week. Takes the lead from Justin Ruggier. Finally, that week ahead for Justin. So, of course, the championship is the best 8 weeks over the 12-week championship. So, guys can miss a couple of weeks and still be competitive in this championship. We will see that top 5 close up in the coming weeks due to that points difference. So as we said, Madison Down leading now from Justin Ruggier. Josh Muggleton, John Emerson, a big move up to P4. A couple other movers. Vale Rich has gone from about 13th or 14th last week into 8th. So we will see this championship shuffle around coming up towards our final round next week. Back to Oran Park for another endurance race next week.
Yeah, it's great to see. Talking about someone who's a bit of a mover and shaker there, John Emerson in 4th has just taken out the DPs for Grand Am for Thursday night. So, that's a pretty good effort. It's got 1 championship and 4th in another so far. Can't whinge at that.
Pretty impressive to have the Grand Am series. When we started broadcasting it, Daniel, we were always like, oh, is this going to work? Are we going to actually have anyone turn up and race? And now we've ended up creating championship winners. So fingers crossed we can do the same for the truck series next season.
Yeah, trucks are going to be a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure Des is taking the reins on that one, isn't he?
I'm looking forward to it, Daniel.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of build-up for it. I think a NASCAR series has been floating around for a while now, so it's good to see that we've finally landed one. And I'm sure I saw Mosport. Is that right for next season?
Yeah, round 5, the trucks will head to Mosport the same week that the truck series is heading to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park in real life. We'll be racing our online truck series there as well. So we'll have 11 oval races, 1 road race, which will be fantastic. Can't wait.
Yeah, 15 laps around that track is going to be a tough one for the boys, but it's been great seeing a lot of the community out there already trying to race that I rating.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm trying to get up as high as I can to race in the truck series. I don't know if it'll be quite high enough to actually make it into the broadcast race, but we'll see how we go. Daniel, I know you'll be trying as well, but you're not very good, so you got not much hope.
Actually, I think to tell you the truth, my I rating on oval is actually higher than my road, but my road's not that high, so it's not really a big brag thing, I suppose. So I'm just gonna shut up. There's a reason why I commentate.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I don't think me being on a broadcast, I've had my 5 seconds to fame and race the champions a little while ago, and that's me done, I think. Yep. Speaking of, before we get to Ren's hot lap very, very soon, Waiting for pictures to come through from the session, not far away from that. Race of Champions only 2 weeks away, and really looking forward to that. We have some special things planned for Race of Champions this time around, and it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be awesome. Love Race of Champions. And I've got to say that Race of Champions, every time we seem to do one, we seem to push it a little bit more to bring something new that tends to hang around for future broadcasts. So, yeah, I don't know what the boys have got up their sleeves, but I'm sure it's going to be something interesting, and should definitely, hopefully, make all of next season push through.
I think we released a bit of a teaser about it, and I think a few of the guys asked if we're having decent commentators for a change. I didn't think that was very nice.
Oh, that's rude. That's rude.
I'm guessing we're sacked. Now we've got Renz Brookman there now for our hot lap, I believe. You there, Renz?
Good evening, guys.
Good to have you along, mate. It's been a long time since you've done one of these.
Yeah, big fan of doing the talking hot laps.
Especially not when you've done any
Good to be
practice as well. You've done no practice this week, mate. How did you enjoy that early race?
Early race was quite fun, apart from a little spin halfway. But no, it was enjoyable. I did do a little bit of practice, but not the last couple of days.
Yep.
It's a great track.
Fantastic track. Your car on the broadcast actually looks like it's damaged. We can tell you it's not. It's some sort of glitch. So take it away, Renz. Talk us through this lap of Interlagos.
All right. Start finish straight. 6th. Break nice and early. Turn 1. The rear end wants to step out here usually. Nice and smooth. Bent on the power. All the way back up to 6th gear again. Brake just before the 100. The 3rd. 4th. 5th. It's all flat. Bent on the power in 3rd here. I have to be really easy on the brakes. The rear end is quite tricky to handle here. 2nd. Plenty of the power through this one. Use all the track you can use. Back to 2nd. And try to keep this all flat. Which didn't really work.
It's the track there, mate. It's a little bit too wide. Lap though. 5, obviously race pace lap.
Yeah, this is race pace. Especially with the talking, I have a hard time doing a proper fast lap.
I know when hanging around with you actually in races, you never say a word, so getting a word out of you while you're driving is impossible.
Yeah, I struggle big time with talking and driving at the same time.
I think the only three words you need to know when you're in one of our rooms, Renz, is shut up, Corey.
That's about the only word that ever comes out. Can someone move me and shut up, Corey? I think it's all I ever hear when you're driving around, Renz.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
One thing I did hear, Renz, was you saying how easy you got to be with the rear end. How tricky is this track to balance the car off the front and the rear? How much pedal work are you doing?
You have to be really smooth with your pedal inputs. That is one of the most technical tracks, maybe. Especially the tight section, the braking and getting the power down again. It's just really, really hard to keep the rear end in line.
Sorry, go Des.
I was just going to say, interesting. Would that be a tip for young racers out there from you?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Is that a good tip for young racers to be watching their pedal work through there?
Yeah, pedal work is very important in this car. I think a lot of people driving the car way too hard, trying to carry too much speed, and you have to be so gentle to get speed out of this.
I think that's an issue we see from quite a lot of guys, is trying to push it too hard, trying to get too much entry speed, and they lose that exit speed, and that's where we see a lot of mistakes and a lot of passing.
Yep, exactly.
Lorenz, we might let you go and get a drink before you have to go and do a qualifying run.
Drink
So
and let me do a qualifying run. Yeah.
good luck, mate. Have a good night. We'll talk
Alright,
to you after.
guys. Good luck to you.
Thanks, mate.
See ya.
Go through qualifying as it stands right now. Only 3 or 4 minutes away from the final qualifying session this week. Josh Muggleton at the moment on pole position, 134.184. Madison down second position with a 34.296. Justin Ruggier in third. Vale Richards in fourth. Lee Day in fifth. Sean Kelly sixth. John Emerson in seventh. Wayne Tolley in eighth. Leighton Fine, great drive, in ninth. Ray Butcher drives in the Americas Series, currently the 10th fastest for the week. So some interesting names and a few names missing this week from our usual top 10 in qualifying.
Yeah, a bit of a mix for this race. A few big names in there. I think a few of the big guys have decided to take a week off because we're missing a few for Grand Am as well.
Sort of that mid-pack that we usually see, the guys that are usually the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, not posting as quick at times as we'd normally see, or actually not even there at all. It's really interesting to see. We're seeing guys in the top 10 that we wouldn't normally see. Leighton Fine's been in the championship hunt in that top 20 all season long, but I think this is the first time he's actually made it into the top 10 qualifying. So that's great drive from Leighton. Good to see.
Something interesting to note is Muggleton was this round last season's winner, I believe.
That is correct, yeah. Muggo,
So,
a bit of a fascination or affiliation with this track. He loves this place by the looks.
I think it's one of those tracks you either kind of get it or you don't, and you can see the guys that are really good and really fast here, and I really like the pedal work. Madison Down being also another guy who's really big on pedal work and really controlling his inputs. So I think you can see that style of driving really shine through a place like Interlagos, and these same guys, places like Spa where it's pedal work again as well. You can see the difference between the two driving styles.
We're only about a minute away now from getting pictures through from this qualifying session. Really looking forward to watching this one. Very, very close, I think.
Yeah, it should be a really tight qualifying session. I wonder if we're going to see a few changes in that mid pack. A couple of guys that haven't actually really put in some laps yet, but it should be an interesting one to watch.
Now, as we see with our European drivers, they will race in a separate qualifying session. We actually have our v8sonline insider watching over that. We've got Reese Gardner in tonight. G'day, Reese. You'll have a busy night tonight, mate.
Yeah, Jay. I'll be watching Renz and updating you on where he places during this qualifying session, and then during the race to report on what's happening in the pit, all the different teams.
Couple of technical issues with Reese. We'll get to him again soon, but we'll be watching over in the pits tonight and watching the European qualifying. As I think we're almost about to get pictures through now. Very close. Guys actually qualifying from the international server tonight. So I've actually got Renz Brookman and Richie Stanaway that we'll be trying to keep an eye on in the European session, which Reese will be keeping us updated with. About to get pictures through. Of course, don't forget we will be back on Thursday night for the final round of the Grand Am series. I'm not 100% sure where the track is. The race is next week.
Race next week will be at I call it Infineon, and it's called Sonoma now. Sonoma Raceway, the Indy layout is going to be where Grand Am's going next week.
track, one of my favourites. Everyone knows that. Sonoma.
Oh, is it really? Is it one of your favourites, Jay?
Yeah,
Jeez.
one of my favourites. I've never said
Oh.
that before.
No, that's the
Missed
first
out-
time I've heard
missed out.
about this.
Should actually say we've actually announced the V8 schedule for next season. We'll talk about that later on, but Sonoma unfortunately did miss out. I'm a bit devastated I had to leave it out.
Certainly going to be
Obviously.
Interesting. Next, sorry to interrupt, Jay. I was going to say, Grand Am next week. I'll be driving the McLaren in that series, and been doing a little bit of practice on Sonoma on the Indy layout that we'll be using, and it's certainly a rough ride. Lots of twists and turns, and it's overall a very, very slow track where it's mostly about momentum.
V8 Supercar race there a couple of seasons ago. We used that layout instead of the normal Cup layout, and wasn't overly liked by the V8 Supercar drivers. As we get pictures through for qualifying, Josh Muggleton on screen at the moment, currently pole position with a 134.185.
Not about the V8 Supercar drivers, Jay. It's about the fans. We don't care what they want. We want to care about what our fans want.
Oh, Muggo.
That was a little bit of a scary moment.
Yeah, I think that'll end his lap pretty quickly, although he's pushing on. We're looking sector 1, we should be seeing times 23.5 or 23.6, and he's a long way off, so this could end up being a race pace test lap, not a qualifying lap.
I think he's probably...
Yeah, Josh Muggleton is known for the last minute fuel runs in the qualifying session, so...
Go to Sean Kelly next. Currently P7 for the week. P6, sorry, with the 34.576. First sector split with 23.7, so that's about the pace he needs to be at. Trying to improve that time. The thing I love about watching the guys go around this track, there's so many low corners with tough off-cam or weird cambered corners after as well. It's really tough to get the power down in a lot of spaces on this track.
Yeah, it's a very it's a quirky kind of track, especially for a V8 supercar that's not really well known for its downforce. So a lot of throttle rolling and just trying to get it around these corners, and it's a little bit unforgiving. Some corners you feel like you're going, oh yeah, I've got that all right, and then you're like, oh yeah, I can take this corner at a fairly decent speed, and then next thing you're off because it's a lot sharper than what it looks.
First competitive lap time there from Sean Kelly, not bad with the 34.8. Go to Justin Ruggier now. Improve on his 134.395. Needs to get about 2 tenths to push himself up to P1.
On the brakes there, you can see the car trying to get away from him into that first corner.
What's the first sector time? Not too bad. 23.7.
Looks like he's gone a bit too wide there.
That's too wide.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that lap's over. You've really got to cut in closer. He's going to stay out though.
He's just getting out of the way. He's just going to put on a bit of a drift session for us.
Oh, that
There
always
it
looks
is.
good. Good job.
Around he goes. No, holds on to it. Sean Kelly comes up behind, almost into the back of him. Go to John Emerson next. 34.8 for him this week. Starting's flying lap.
Just to quickly update you guys on the Euro qualifying session, Rens Brookman's fastest time so far in these preliminary stages of the session has been a 1 minute 35.144, and that puts him just behind Leighton Fine in 10th place in the standings as they are at the moment.
First lap from Renz.
Going around a bit slowly on his next out lap. Richie Stanaway is in this qualifying session as well, and we'll be seeing what he can pull out.
John Emerson looking quite smooth there.
And the opening part of the lap, he was a little bit off the pace, but looked really clean and hitting every apex. Doesn't look like he's pushing the car too hard, which usually is slow. Looking slow is quick, so unless I'm driving.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference between looking slow and driving clean than looking slow and just
Driving Miss Daisy.
driving awful. Yeah. Sure, Miss Daisy would have a heart attack if she was driven around by you.
Miss Daisy wouldn't make it to the hospital if she had a heart attack if I was driving. Be a good end to the lap from Emerson. Proves, I think, by 3/1000ths of a second, he improves his lap time. Dabrel starting his flying lap. Current best time for the week of 1:35.9. Josh Muggleton just puts in his fastest lap of the session, so that's where the marker is in this session now. Oh, there's nearly an accident up ahead of Mitch Dabrel. Justin Ruggier. And I think that may have been Tony Autridge. Almost come together there.
It's a fairly small qualifying session, this one.
Autridge just come out onto the racing line, didn't see Justin coming along, and Justin just gets out of the way.
Renz Brookman is coming up to the start-finish line now. What's the time going to be? A 1:34.829. So that puts him up into 7th, just in front of John Emerson at the moment.
Lap. Keeps going like that in this session, he'll get pole.
Maybe we're on the wrong session here. Maybe we need to flick over.
Davrel's about to finish his flying lap. Fastest section I think we go get in this V8 supercar. Just 280 coming into turn 1. Fantastic fun bit of track here. These qualifying laps are so close to clipping that pit wall side.
Meanwhile, Richie Stanaway's just started his first hot lap. See what he can do. John
Latham, a guy that's been pretty competitive this season, put out some really good qualifying times and had some really good results this season. Just hasn't been able to quite finish it off, but he should be really happy with what he's achieved this season. Current best lap for the week is 34.9.
Yeah, definitely starting to find his stride, John Latham. It's going to be an interesting season from him for the next one, I think.
I believe there's already only 10 minutes to go in this session. Not so quick. Latham with a 35.7, so looks like he might be putting out race run times. Leader finally out on track now, Madison down.
Yeah, he had to make sure he looked pretty before he got out. He's on camera and all that, you know.
Josh Muggleton's on a flying lap at the moment, I believe.
And Justin Ruggier has started another attempt.
Richie Stanaway, Team Redline driver. Oh, out of the final turn, he's decided to call it a lap. He had a little bit of a slide on one of the curbs around the middle part of the lap, and I think he's just decided to leave it.
Muggleton ended up putting on a drift session, so if we can go to Justin Ruggier.
I'm just watching Justin's lap now. He's looking quite pacey.
Yeah, he's kept it very clean so far.
Yeah, it's looking really good. He's not pushing it too hard.
Definitely holding the right momentum. Have you got some split times there for Justin in front of you, Jay?
Yeah, 23.7 at the first sector, so not too bad there. Second sector, pretty good, 34.6. So this last sector is really going to be crucial to getting this good lap in. Get this final turn right and get the exit perfect. That extra 1 or 2 Ks at the start finish line, which could be the difference. Too much power down, got it sideways at the final corner. Lee Day next. Vince.
Paul Keegan's finishing off a lap.
Paul Keegan does a 1:36.499, 5 1,000ths of a second, so 5 100ths of a second off his best lap for the week.
Renz Brookman's just completed another hot lap. He's gone a tenth faster. He now stands at a 34.729.
If we can go to John Emerson on a flying lap. If Emerson can improve this lap. Bit off the pace though, I think, this lap. Good exit the final corner though.
Richie Stanaway starting another hot lap
Whoa!
attempt. Oh.
Emerson off in the grass. Sorry there, Reese.
Oh, and Stanaway's had a bit of a slide in turn 2. That's another hot lap attempt abandoned for Richie Stanaway. Renz Brookman, on the other hand, seems to, I'm not too sure if he's on a hot lap or an out lap. He seems to be going rather sedately, so I'm assuming it's an out lap. Coming to the end of one now.
John Latham looks like he's definitely trying to work out race pace, or maybe working out fuel numbers. Of course, pit stops tonight. We will have a fairly small pit window because there's a lot of fuel burn in this race. Around about an hour and 10 minutes the race length, so longest, as we said, longest race we've had in this series history.
So
Can't wait.
for the race and the earlier one, Jay, what times were people pitting in? What lap should we expect people to start pitting?
End of lap 14 is the absolute earliest you can pit and make it home, so any time between lap 14 and 26 everyone will have to make their pit stops.
Now, did we see any tricky strategies from some of these guys in the early race that we might see again?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty standard. You need to pit. Most guys are going to pit as early as they can and fill it up and get it home. So it'll be lap 14, 15 and 16. I think we'll see all the pit stops. There's always going to be that one team that always tries to push it that extra little bit further in this final race. Moment there for Ortridge. First sector from Tony, so this could be a good lap for him. Best lap for the week at 35.047. I believe he got in this session. Correct?
Yeah, that's this session's time. 1:35.047.
Got 4.5 minutes left in this session now.
Oh,
And
That is his best lap so far for the week by 2/10, so moving up.
Tony getting that. Walk by your team boss probably isn't the best thing though.
Yeah.
Do you yell at him or not?
I think everyone yells at him anyway, so.
Back
do.
with Josh Muggleton here.
Margo, as we said, current pole sitter.
Renz Brookman through the final turn, coming up to the start-finish line. It's a 34.668, another 10th chopped off his time.
Wow. That'll put him in P5, I think, or P4 for the week.
Yeah, thereabouts.
No, it'll still be P7. Need to check my times before I make big calls like that. Muggleton, good first sector, 23.6. That's about the pace he needs to be on. That's the pace we need to see Justin on to try and improve. No, that's the end of it.
Madison now coming out.
Go to John Emerson. Starting this flying lap, I think.
Ah, it's over.
Whoa!
All right, who else do we hate? Let's get Seb to point the camera at them.
We don't hate you, John.
We've
Love
got
you, mate.
Ruggier starting another lap again.
Richie Stanaway's is about to complete his first hot lap of the session. It's a 35.127.
And put him in 10th or 11th the week, so that'll be an improvement in time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it'll put him time 35.127. That will put him in 10th place at the moment.
23.6 from the first sector from Justin, so he's looking on pace.
Looking at
That's where we need to see him to be.
Sean Kelly at the moment. He's looking quite nice and clean for this lap.
Justin taking a lot of curb and a bit of grass.
If you're going to cut the corner, you might as well cut it properly and use every bit of road plus more. That's not bad in the second split time. This lap could be an improvement.
It's quite remarkable how much you can really take there. These drivers pushing every tenth out of the track.
And notice here on the entry to the final corner as well, using the AstroTurf on the outside as well. Could Justin get a little bit of a tow from his teammate down the front straight here?
Rens Brookman starting what I would assume will be his final hot lap of the session. I don't think he'll have enough time to do another one.
Justin crosses the line, 34.299. That's an improvement on his time for the week. It won't improve his position though.
That's
34.297.
3 1,000ths off second.
At the time, the official time is actually 2 1,000ths off second because the official time is a 34.298. Dabble with a personal best for the week. Back to Muggleton. Coming up. Start this lap a little bit off the pace at the first checkpoint. Minute to go in the session, so almost all over.
You should be feeling pretty confident right now that he will be starting on pole.
Rens
Only
Brookman had
man now. Sorry, go. Mate.
I was going to say Rens Brookman had a little bit of a power slide coming out of the tight left-hander before a long straight section into Interlagos. He's coming through the last turn, cutting across the pit entry, sticking to the inside wall, and the time is going to be a 34.588.
Wow. Time.
Interesting note. Interesting note. Madison Down is actually going in doing pit stall entry practice.
Something a lot of guys wouldn't practice a lot of is pit entry. Muggleton into the final section of the track. Look at lead A. Starting a lap.
And the checkered flags come out for the session now, so...
Yeah, meanwhile in the Euro server, Richie Stanaway hasn't been able to improve on his time, so his time stands at a 35.127.
Muggleton there almost hit the pit wall as he's practicing his pit entry, so check a flag out as we said. But Kelly will be one of the last drivers to complete a flying lap. 23.8 to the first checkpoint.
John Emerson just crossed the line with a 34.7.
Best time for the week.
Yep, gets another 10th, but doesn't improve position.
He'll actually lose a position overall in this session with Rens Brookman's time, but Kelly could pull something out in this last lap. That's very smooth. He might get a little bit of tow down the main straight for Paul Keegan ahead of him too.
Keegan was on a good time as well until then.
And Kelly to finish this final lap. How close they get to this pit wall. Next section. Oh.
Something there for side draft.
And Kelly now into the fence after that lap with a 34.9. A very interesting qualifying session. A few improved times, but no major improvements in positions from this session anyway. Go through the results. Justin Ruggier, fastest time in the session. As we said, he did improve his time, won't improve his position. He will start from P3. Josh Muggleton, Madison Down also have not improved their time, so Muggleton will start from pole. John Emerson has improved his time. No position change for him. John Latham, Tony Ortridge will be the biggest movers from this session. Jason Brunton, Jason Black, Mitch Abril over the page. Graham Filan, Paul Keegan, Owen May, Lee Day, Dale Nish, and Michael Middleton. 16 drivers we had in this session. Fantastic qualifying. We're all pumped for an hour and about 10 minutes of racing coming up very soon. You're watching v8sonline's live coverage of the iRacing.com V8 Supercar official online series, proudly presented by V8 Supercars Fan Group, V8 Online Superstore, and Direct Clutch Services.